We are having a super, super amazing class today. You'll be mind blown, I tell you, because Nazareth is absolutamente increíble. Her knowledge and her way of explaining and everything. And we have planned for you that in this class, we are going to do first loving kindness meditation. So that is our first meditation together. And I think it's one of the most important meditations also that we can do together, because as you saw with the studies with Richie Davison and Daniel Goleman, they were saying the loving kindness meditation is a meditation that, because it involves so much the heart and the brain and all the organism, including the gut, really, but they didn't talk about that, but Nazareth is. So that kind of meditation just involves everything that we are. So we are going to first just do the meditation so that we go through the experience together. And then Nazareth is going to share with us a PowerPoint where she shows a lot of the studies that have been done in the last years about what happens in your brain, in your heart, in your gut, in your whole organism as you do these meditations of opening your heart to experience of love, which you also are doing, you know, all the time with your pets, with your friends, and with your volunteering and everything. So that's one of the reasons why this course includes volunteering together with the neuroplasticity, because it does, by going through the heart, it opens the whole organism to changes. Here we are for una verdadera fiesta. I'm just so thrilled with this class. I don't know if you can notice it, but I'm thrilled that you are all here and that we are all in this journey. And now that today we are starting with what is meditation, with the meditation of loving kindness, and with the incredible presence of Nazareth, who's joining us from Spain. For us, it's 2:30. For her, it's 11:30 at night. So it's already a labor of love to be here with us at this time. And okay, so what the plan for today then would be, we'll do this first meditation together as a group. It's a loving kindness meditation. We will be having a meditation in every class from now on, and it's simple enough that you can then practice at home if you like. And okay, this class is to be kind to yourself and kind to the others. That's the main and only requirement of the course. Otherwise, you all have passed with A+. Okay, we are going to do the meditation. Then Nazareth is going to share with us a PowerPoint presentation. Then we are going to have questions and answers. And it depends at the end, if we have 5 minutes or 7 minutes, we'll close up between ourselves with final comments. All right, let's go for it. So we find a comfortable position in which our spine is straight and our body relaxed. And for a moment, we are going to do the transition between our thinking and being engaged in speaking, and also all the things that we have been doing during the rest of our day up to now. So we're just doing the transition to another mode, a mode of contemplating how we sensing through the body and all that. And the best way to do this transition is maybe by closing the eyes or lowering the eyes, if that's comfortable for you, and especially by doing 3 deep breaths, inhaling slowly, gently, and deeply, like sighing. And then exhaling slowly, gently, completely, letting go of whatever you have been carrying up to now. Just arriving not only in the screen, but arriving in presence. Just inhaling again, slowly, gently, and deeply. And when the time comes to exhale, exhaling, letting go together with the air of anything that you have been carrying up to now. And one more breath, finding this inner connection with yourself. Let's do 2 more breaths because sometimes the transition takes a little bit more. So again, finding this connection with how you're feeling, accepting whatever is there, and inviting your body to relax. Thanking yourself for taking this moment to pause and breathe. 2 very powerful tools. And maybe smile. 3 powerful tools. Usually in traditional meditation, we tend to keep the hands down, resting on the lap or on the thighs. I sometimes like to have one of my hands at the area of the heart, and the other resting on the lap or at the abdomen, whatever you feel that helps you, at least initially, to come back home to this present moment and to this contact with the body, which is always waiting for you, like a lover that's waiting for you to come back home to your body, to the present moment. And today, the meditation that we are going to be doing together, this first meditation in this course, is a meditation on loving kindness. In a way, is easier than other meditations that are non-guided meditations or just stopping, because your attention and intention is going to be guided by these 4 blessings that come from many years ago. Just follow the suggestions that I'm giving and see how you feel with doing the loving kindness meditation. It's very possible that many of you already have experienced it in other places or in different forms. And today we are following a more or less traditional way of doing it with a little bit of a change at the end. So, again, coming in contact with ourselves, with our breath. We are going to start this loving kindness meditation by thinking, remembering, visualizing someone who has been like a benefactor to us, someone who has shown appreciation for us, love, support, maybe a grandmother, maybe a teacher, a friend, a neighbor, your pet, any being that when you think of them, preferably a human, but if not, a pet could perhaps work too. Any being that you, when you think of them, is an untraveled sensation of being loved by them, of being appreciated by them, and you naturally feel gratitude towards them, easiness towards them. So just choose one for today, for this first part. And visualizing that person. I'm going to assume it's a person. Visualizing that person, maybe also repeating his or her name as you do the blessings. You're going to wish her or him. May you, and here would be the name, may you be filled with loving kindness. And imagine that the person, wherever they are, suddenly feel full, filled with loving kindness. And if they smile, they feel at ease. So may you be filled with loving kindness. You are sending this blessing to them, and they are receiving it wherever they are. If it is a person that's already deceased, the spirit continues to be somehow present. So choose whoever you want to send it to. May you be filled with loving kindness, visualizing the person filled with this ease and peace and love. May you be well in body and mind. Again, sensing how it is to be filled with feeling well in body and mind. Maybe you know the person is struggling and you just send this blessing. Well, may you be filled with loving kindness. And then the second one is, may you be well in body and mind, sending this sensation of being well, of recovering. May you be well in body and mind, and sending the blessing. It does reach them in a subtle way. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. So many of us experience different kinds of dangers, especially inner ones. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. Imagine that person feeling totally safe and at ease, receiving your blessing. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. The fourth blessing, may you be happy, truly happy and free. May you experience peace. Sending this blessing and imagine the person receiving it. May you be happy, truly happy and free. May you experience peace. Connecting in this way with this person that we appreciate and love. And now we are going to direct those blessings to ourselves. You already have been experiencing the blessings as you were sending them. In fact, they were multiplying inside you. So now we are going to bathe ourselves, bless ourselves with these blessings. May I be filled with loving kindness. And just imagining, how would that feel? May I be filled with loving kindness, that ease, that gentleness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind, having this sense of being healed deeply. May I be well in body and mind. May I be well in body and mind. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. Like everyone else, we also sometimes create our inner dangers. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers, blessing ourselves and receiving this blessing. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be happy, truly happy and free. May I experience peace. Just imagine suddenly feeling happy, like sometimes you have experienced. May I be happy, truly happy and free. May I experience peace, receiving that blessing. And now we are going to remember a person who we also love, a family, a friend, someone who perhaps is struggling, or we want to send them this love. So, and it sometimes these relations are a little bit more complicated than the first one. People that are closer to us, or for whatever reason. So we remember the person, wherever they might be right now. We visualize the person and name it as we give the blessing. May you be filled with loving kindness. Sending the blessing and imagine them receiving it. May you be filled with loving kindness. Suddenly this person is filled with this sense of ease, of softness. May you be well in body and mind. Maybe they're having challenges. We send this blessing so that the burden can be lifted. May you be well in body and mind, imagining them receiving it. May you be well in body and mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. Wishing them the peace that comes from inner strength, from overcoming their own inner dangers and maybe some external ones. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. Imagine this person suddenly being safe from inner and outer dangers. Being safe and feeling safe. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be happy, truly happy and free. May you experience peace. May you be happy, truly happy and free. May you experience peace. Imagine the person receiving these blessings. And now we're going to visualize someone who's in our life, but maybe it's a postman or a cashier or somebody who is we see with some regularity, but it's not of our closest circle of friends or family. And like us and like our friends, they also want inner peace. They also have struggles. So just pick one person and visualize them. Maybe you don't know the name, and send them these blessings. May you be filled with loving kindness. Wherever you are at this moment, doing your job, may you be filled with loving kindness. Suddenly they feel lighter, they feel happier. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. Maybe they are tired, they are exhausted. May you be well in body and mind. They feel a little bit better, like us, like our friends. They also need to rest. May you be well in body and mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. Surely they are struggling too. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. We send them these blessings, this caring And imagine that the person suddenly is receiving them, surprised at how well they feel for a moment. May you be happy, truly happy and free. May you experience peace. We visualize them receiving these blessings. And now we are going to think of someone in our life that's a little bit difficult for us, that pushes our buttons. I know. Everybody will say, I don't want to go there. So don't take someone who is really traumatic for you, but someone who kind of annoys you here or there. So just remembering the person, maybe you feel that the person is unfair or whatever reason, but just choose one person. And for this experiment, just for now, visualize the person, and in as much as you can at this moment, offer her or him these blessings. May you choose just one, a lighter one, but please, let's try to do it together. It's part of the neuroplasticity, and it's mainly an experiment about you, not about them. So choose someone, and with as much as you can manage in this moment, wish them sincerely, knowing that they are also struggling. May you be filled with loving kindness, and imagine this person who perhaps is distant or whatever characteristics he or she has, suddenly being filled with loving kindness and feeling good. We are sending them a gift of goodness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. Putting down our resentment with them, we wish them sincerely as a fellow human being. May you be well in body and mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers, sincerely wishing them. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers, which is also putting down our resentment, our struggle with them. We are perhaps part of the outer dangers. So may you be safe from inner and outer dangers, kind of knowing that they are also struggling internally and probably externally too, with different kinds of challenges. And finally, may you be happy, truly happy and free. May you experience peace, knowing that when they experience peace, they also might become kinder, but not expecting anything, just wishing them from us to them, putting down our resentment. May you be happy, truly happy and free. May you experience peace. And we are going to now close with a group of 2 people or 3 people that you love or that you know they are needing help. We are going to wish them. May you be filled with loving kindness, imagining them receiving this blessing. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. Each of them, may you be well in body and mind. Sending the blessings and visualizing them, receiving them. May you be well in body and mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers, wherever they are right now. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. And finally, wishing each of them, may you be happy, truly happy and free. And imagine them receiving the blessing. May you be happy, truly happy and free. Maybe we haven't seen them for many years. We wish them, may you be happy, truly happy and free. And then for a moment, just noticing how you feel with having gone through these moments of experiencing within yourself some measure of peace and some measure of sending love. And also perhaps some other emotions came up as you were working with experiencing these different moments. And yeah, it's a beautiful way of contemplating our ways of interconnection and of relating, and to continue to nurture our journey of getting to know ourselves better and being kind to ourselves and kind to others. Some people like this meditation above all. You can make it shorter. You can just do, another person and you, if you only have a few minutes. But it's a nice meditation to do every day. For example, during this next week, the invitation would be, if you like, practice any length or any kind of words. You can use your own words to send these loving feelings and blessings. And then just for a week, as part of our positive neuroplasticity, I invite you to practice with this meditation, which in a way is easier because you are focusing your attention and intention not on body sensations, although there will be some general relaxation you might feel with this, but on sending love and feeling love. And love is our essence. So it's the deepest yoga, the deepest union of your smaller self, your bigger self, everything inside you and everything around you. And to learn more about all this from a scientific point of view and a real fiesta, we are having here Nazareth Castellanos. So here is a genius. Dr. Nazareth Castellanos has several titles on physics, on mathematics for biology, and on medicine, and has been doing research on the brain and the heart and the interrelation between the brain and the rest of the organism. And she does research also at the level of academic courses that she teaches. So it's the first chair on mindfulness and cognitive science, and it's absolutely brilliant, and she has a brilliant presentation. So without further ado, Nazareth Castellanos.
Well, thank you very much, Amelia, for inviting me to be here. And thank you very much to all of you, because I feel that I am a bit in California, because I am living in the middle of Spain, very close to Madrid. I visited California several times, and I really love this area. So for me, it's like I am traveling a little bit there. So I'm happy, and thank you very much. And I think that I will say that we are all here because we think that we can change, that we can improve, we can feel better, we can learn how to control our thinkings, how to modulate our emotions, no? That we can change. No? Scientifically, we could say that this is a new perspective, because like 50 years back, we thought that the brain is like that. I have this brain and this is what I have, I cannot change. But now, unfortunately, we know that we have this capability to change at psychological level and also at neuronal level, no? Because you know that the plasticity is supposed to be until 92 years old. No? So we have time to change. No? And one very, very interesting question for me, because I am working in science in different universities, like 25 years ago, I started to work at the university in Madrid. And one of the questions that was the most important and interesting for me is what is the mechanism underlying this capability to change? What is doing the brain to change? What is the plasticity? No? I was working in several projects of Alzheimer's disease, brain injury, and I was studying how we recover from brain injury. And for me, it was absolutely amazing, the capability to change. But like 10 years back, I decided to change completely my field of research. And I decided to study how we can feel better, how we can improve our wellness, how we can improve our happiness, no? And what is doing the brain when we change, no? How our brain can help us to change in the direction that we can feel better. And to understand what is happening in the brain, especially when we meditate, because I think that meditation is one of the most powerful ways we have to improve, but to improve in a very robust and solid way. No? For me, study what is doing our brain when we are meditating is something that is amazing. We learn, and also it's a very interesting field of science, because it combines the human aspect of the research with the very basic biological aspect, no, of the science. No? So we combine, because I absolutely defend that we have to develop a science that based on the human being, no? To improve our human being, not only technology. And to understand what is happening in our brain and our body, first, I would like to introduce you something, and this is a neuron. We are very proud of neuron in Spain because, like in 1 century ago, more or less, Don Santiago Ramón y Cajal, we say Mr. Santiago Ramón y Cajal, discovered that our brain is composed by neurons. And this is a neuron. We are very, very proud of him because he's our only one Nobel Prize in medicine, but not only for this, because he was absolutely a genius. He was a very wise person, always with a very symbolic perspective of what is happening in our body. So this is a neuron, no? It's like that, but normally I saw like that because
that's what you teach your 2-year-old, right?
My daughter plays a lot with that, no? But I saw that because I think it's a bit more professional. No? So this is a neuron. Here we have the body of the neuron. We say the soma is the name of this. This is the body. And this is what Ramón y Cajal discovered. Our brain is composed by a body of cells that we call neurons. But also, Ramón y Cajal did a very, very, very important discovery. In our brain, the neurons are not the important one. It's not only the neuron, the important thing for the brain. It's also the capability of neuron to connect, to transfer information, to the interaction in the brain. Our neuron, the soma, has some branches, that is dendritas, and we have a root, that is the axon. The neuron receives information from here and sends information from here. So the most important thing of the brain is that our neurons are always connected one to other, are always transferring information and always interacting. This is the most important thing. And what is plasticity? What is happening, for example, now you are listening to me, perhaps you are learning something. What is happening in this right moment in our brain? Our brain, your neurons are producing, in this moment, producing branches and roots. And this is the capability to change. This is the plasticity. Plasticity of the brain and neuroplasticity is not the generation of new neurons. Plasticity is the generation of new connections. No? And this is why Ramón y Cajal say that our brain is like a forest composed by trees. But the important thing is not the trees. The trees is the forest. And what we have to do is to cultivate this forest. No, he said that we are like these people that is working in gardens, no, that are always cutting here, doing this better. This is what we have to do in our brains, to do beautiful branches, to lead the learning to have a very beautiful and amazing forest. And what he says is that we are responsible for this forest in the brain. And I want to show you, compartir pantalla. This beautiful painting. You know that I will recommend you after this, this evening today, to Google Ramon y Cajal drawings, because everything he saw on the microscope, he painted, no? Because he wanted to be a painter, but his father said, no, you have to be something more serious, like medical doctor. But he was in the lab, he was looking at the brain, and he was painting. And the paintings are amazing, completely amazing, so beautiful. And exactly, he drew exactly what he saw. So it's an amazing view of the brain. So our brain is a forest, a dynamic forest, a forest that can change. And we are like this garden workers, no, that trying to do the best forest that we can have. And now, Amelia, this loving kindness meditation, always I am very, very interested in to see what is happening in the brain when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that, when I'm meditating. For example, no, when I am in my everyday, no, I'm thinking I'm doing this, what is happening in this moment in my brain? I'm always thinking that, no. But for example, what happened in these minutes you were doing this type of meditation? This one. If we could have a scanner and we measure what is happening in our brain at functional level, this is the hemodynamical activity of your brain, we could see that during these 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you were doing this meditation, some areas of the brain increase the activity, here in red, in orange, they increase the activity, and other areas reduce the activity in blue. What are the areas that reduce the activity in this moment? For example, ones that are involved in the inner dialogue. No, this talking that we have spontaneously, and it's very difficult to stop. No, you know that this spontaneous talking that we have is one of the sources of insatisfaction. No, it produces pain. It's something that we want to avoid because it's hard. No, it hurts very, very hard. But these areas that are producing spontaneously this talking in the brain, blah, 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 they reduce when we are meditating in love. So this is a way to calm down, to feel that we are sure to reduce this talking that just want to control everything that is happening. But at the same time, other areas are increasing the activity. No? So, for example, the areas that are more involved in the present, no? But when we are here, for example, the areas that are involved in the idea of myself, no? And this loving kindness meditation, as the results of this article say, involves a present-centered, selfless focus for meditators and compared to novice. No? So this is what is happening when you do this type of meditation frequently. So if we do, for example, this type of meditation for 2 months, we could have anatomical changes, because when we meditate, we have functional changes. So the brain changes for this time and finish when we finish the meditation. But if we meditate every single day, the change that we have in our brain are anatomical, structurally. Some areas increase the volume, the superficie, and other areas reduce. So we can change the anatomy of our brain if we meditate regularly. But very interestingly, at least for me, is that when we do this type of meditation, for example, now in this time you were meditating, these minutes, you changed our brain, no? We saw that you changed the function, the activity of different areas of the brain. But you also changed the dynamics of your heart. And this is very nice, and this is very important, no? Because heart, you know, that is one of the most important organs, you know, and also, as we will see, it's also important for psychology. But what is doing this type of studies? That we meditate not only with the brain, we meditate with the brain and also with the heart. We are able to change the dynamic of our heart when we meditate in love, for example. And this is very, very interesting for me because it's what I do every single day in my lab. No? This is what we do. I study how the body interacts with the brain when we meditate. In this lab in the University of Madrid, we measure the magnetic, the electromagnetic fields of the brain, but simultaneously we measure the electric fields of the heart, the breathing, the stomach, the gut, the eye movements. So what is happening in my body when I am meditating? The question was, I meditate with my brain or I meditate with my stomach? I meditate with my heart. I meditate with my breathing. So this is the question we do in the lab. You know that I always say that I am very, very, very happy. I'm very lucky, no? Because neuroscience is living a revolution. You know that for us, the only important organ in the body was the brain. The rest of the body for us was absolutely rubbish, completely, no? So we didn't mind about heart, stomach, whatever, only the brain. But now neuroscience recognized that we use the body. We use the brain, we use the heart, we use the stomach, the breathing, for thinking, for cognition, for emotions, for everything. No? So it's a new perspective that will change a lot at clinical level, but also in the way we perceive ourselves. Because I think that this symbolic thinking of the body as an integral component is very important. So what I propose you now is to travel along your body. Let's see what happened in your body during this time you were meditated with Amelia. Okay, are you going with me to this trip along the body? Because I promise you that this is something that is fascinating. Let's start from bottom to top. Okay, if we ask someone like 10 years back, for example, when you think that your stomach is involved in the thinking? So the people, most of them will say, absolutely not. No, the gut is not involved in our thinking at all. Okay. Our gut, our stomach produce an electric field. Okay. This electric field is very, very slow. 0.05 hertz, 0.05 wave a second. It's like that. Okay, it's very slow, but the amplitude is very high. It's like the wave in the oceans, you know, in the beach, no? This electric field, that is the gastric electric field, that is producing absolutely when it's void, is interacting with the brain. These waves that are very, very, very slow are correlated with the production of alpha oscillations in the brain. What is this? We are back to our neurons. Our neurons produce electricity. But the electricity that produces the neurons is by pulse. Boom, boom. They do, we say in neuroscience that they produce spikes. Boom, 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 boom. The spiking activity of the neurons, the oscillations can be very, very slow. For example, 1 electric pulse per second, boom, or can be very fast. This is gamma band. For example, when we are thinking in something that it's very complex, now if I have to solve what I can do, this, that, or I have to remember something that is not easy to remember, is very, very energy consuming for the brain, and my brain will do. For example, when I relax, I want to go to the bed, I'm relaxing, my brain starts to slow down. Boom, boom. But there is an oscillation that is the most important for the brain. This is alpha. Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet. And this alpha because it's the most important. What is alpha? Alpha is like a stop signal. Okay? Why alpha is important for meditation? You know, because it happened to all of us, you sit, you want to meditate, and for example, you say, I want to focus my attention of breathing. This is what you want to do, but this is not what you do, because when I am trying to pay attention to my breathing, I remember something, I imagine something, I have to reply this email, I have this, I have that. We have so many interferences that are spontaneous. I don't choose to have this interference. They come. I want to focus in my attention. So meditation is like a fight, no, between what I want and what I can. No? So when we meditate, we reinforce volitional control. No? Okay, so I am trying to focus in my breathing, and I have this interference. If I know how to meditate, I will have alpha oscillations. My neurons will start to to oscillate, to produce spikes 8 times per second. This is alpha oscillations. And alpha is like the stop signal. They stop the interference that avoid my control of the attention. This is why, for example, after 2 months of meditation, we increase the alpha oscillations in the brain. For example, a comparison between a meditator that is very expert and a novice is that the expert has much more alpha oscillations in the brain, has more control, more stop signals in the brain. Okay, who is one of the producers of alpha oscillations in the brain? The stomach. So, what is happening, for example, if I sit to meditate and I just had an hamburger, for example? Then my stomach is, of course, working in this digestion. It's trying to digest the hamburger, so it's not producing these oscillations. So I have less alpha oscillations. We cannot meditate after an hamburger. This is the dilemma. What is meaning? That the gastric activity is important for my brain, for everything, but especially for those tasks where I need my attention. For a study, imagine in the school, no, when I have to work, whatever. So I have to control how is my stomach, what I have for lunch, for example. No, you know that diet is so important for our brain. So now in this moment that you were meditating with Amelia, your brain was also asking your stomach. You were meditating with your stomach. This is very important. Let's continue our trip. And now we arrive to the breathing. No, you know that breathing for most of the tradition was very, very important. For example, mainly for the Buddhist tradition, no, how we breathe. They have, for example, in the field of yoga, they have different techniques, techniques for breathing, no, that the pranayamas, no. But this is what I'm going to tell you now is completely new for science, completely new for science. No, we know that from centuries and centuries ago, but from science is completely new. For example, this paper published in Science 5 years ago, no, imagine, is completely recent. What they discovered? That our brain knows how we breathe. Depending on how we breathe, our brain reacts in a way or in other. Breathing modulates neuronal dynamics. Which areas of the brain are dependent on the breathing? The ones that are involved in attention, in memory, and emotions. Depending on how we breathe, we will have more attention, more memory, and a better reorganization of the emotions. For example, you know when is the window where we have more memory? When we are inspiring by nose, not by mouth. Okay? This is the moment where hippocampus, that is one of the areas that is more involved in memory, hippocampus has more capability to encode information. When I spike, reduce. So you know that when you have to remember something that is very, very, very important and someone tells you, you have to remember this, try to inspire by nose, okay? Because this is the window where you have much more memory. We can modulate the activity of our brain when we breathe if the time we use for exhalation is shorter than the time we use for inspiration, we have more probability to be anxious. Okay? If the time of exhalation is much more longer than the time of inspiration, our brain has more resources to control stress. So we have to inspire and exhalation at least double. Okay, so this is, for example, there are so many studies about this. For example, imagine that you have an exam and a very important interview, or are you going to the medical doctor for an important results, no? And of course we are nervous, no? We can use this trying to exhalate at least double than the inspiration, and the areas of the brain involved in stress relax. So when the stress arrives, that will arrive, okay, we will react, but not hyper react, no? So now science is giving a lot of information about how we can use our body to live better, no? For example, and of course, breathing is the most important door to the brain, because, for example, I cannot control what is happening in my stomach. I cannot say, okay, stop. Or I cannot say to my heart, stop firing, no? But I can modulate as I want my breathing pattern, no? This is why we say that breathing is the most important process for the brain, because it's the only one that we can control, no? So, you know, different techniques. For example, when I am very tired, no, that happens normally when you have a daughter, no, you are very tired. We need some techniques that improve the activity of my brain, no, because it's slowing down, no. So I need to increase the activity of the brain, but sometimes I need to relax. So breathing is a way to modulate brain activity. Heart. I have to confess that I'm working for 25 years in brain, but now I am absolutely in love of heart. And I think that is completely the king. This is my main research in the lab, no? Because for me, this couple, brain and heart, are so romantic, so amazing, mysterious. But I am completely in love, and you will understand why. Heart is the organ that is more related to the idea of myself, who I am. That is a very, very complex idea. The heart is also, as breathing, is modulating different areas of the brain. When our heart fires, 300 milliseconds after, because we have some receptors in our heart, so they feel that the heart just fire, send the information to the brain, and the brain has to reply to this fire. But not all the brain, only several areas of the brain. And one of these is the anterior insula. The anterior insula, for neuroscience, is the area more involved in myself, in how I feel, in how I perceive myself. Is the area who do this mix between me and others. No, for example, is one of the areas that is activated strongly when I am giving birth to my baby. No, because it's the moment that I connect myself with my daughter, and my brain doesn't know that my daughter is another person. No, so the insula there is but this baby is you, but this not you. So this is an amazing moment, no, of this. So I have to confess you, when I have my baby and I was breastfeeding my baby, I was thinking my insula now is fighting crazily. And also it's an
That's
area.
love, right? That's love. That's love.
So
yeah.
beautiful.
Mm.
It's an area, for example, if you look at me now, for example, if I do this, no, and you are looking at me now, you have an area that is processing my face, because the faces are the most important thing, no? You are processing, okay, this girl is speaking. If I do like this, and I smile, and I activate immediately your insula. If I finish, not. Insula? No. Insula. And this is very important because insula is related to the idea of myself. Insula activate when we smile, no? And if you know, babies fix the eyes more than 6 times more when they see a face smiling when they see a normal face. Or where brain always privileges smiling, no? This is very, very important. Insula, for example, increase the activity a lot when we feel loved. When I love someone, and when I feel that I am loved. No? So the idea of ourselves is very, very, very related to the idea of love. And this is very important. And insula, this special area that we know that is one of the most important areas for neuroscience. It's not a joke, no? But this area, the insula, is very, very, very influenced by heart. It's the area of the brain that has to reply to the heart every time the heart fires. Okay, so it's very related to the idea of myself. But in the insula, we can distinguish between I and me. That is very different. And what is saying this? That we can live life from a very egocentric perspective, or we are observers. And here is the brain. And here we will see the relation with meditation. Here I show you. This is the one with the pink. This is Gustavo. Is one of my colleagues. No, the other guy is a journalist that come to our labs to do our report. No? So we introduce them in our MEG system to measure the brain and heart activity, and we measure what is happening with both hearts. And we see that, okay, we have the heart of Gustavo, and here we have the heart of Juan. Okay, they are doing in their way. No? Blah, blah, blah. But when they start to meditate simultaneously, we found statistically several windows where their hearts synchronizes. They start to fire together. And this is happening in so many situations. For example, when we are dancing together, our hearts synchronize. When we look at the eyes to other person, the hearts synchronize. So this is very, very, very important. You know that the strongest synchronization between hearts is happening between a mom, a mother, and the daughter of the son. This is the strongest that has ever measured, the strongest. But when we communicate with another person, we are speaking or whatever, whoa, whoa, whoa. There is a moment where the hearts start to synchronize. And what is happening between the interaction between hearts and brain? So we say that the interaction between hearts and brain is related to the idea of myself. When I live from a very egocentric, or we'll say narcissist, but it's more elegant for me to say egocentric point of view, the heart and the brain communicate very, very hard. Okay? The strongest connection between heart and brain, the more I think in myself. So this is very, very interesting because heart and brain has to communicate, but in an equilibrium. If they are very, very connected, I'm thinking in myself, why? Because the hypothesis of neuroscience is that heart is given to the brain the information of who I am, how I can see the world. If brain follow the heart, I am only thinking in how I perceive the world. So we need this communication between heart and brain, but not too much and not too less. For example, personas with dementia, Alzheimer's disease, they lost the communication between heart and brain. We need an equilibrium between both. What happened when now you were meditating with Amelia? The interaction between your heart and your brain decreased. And this is correlated with a selfless perception. You forget yourself and you observe. And to do this, heart and brain has to reach an equilibrium. Very connected, I think in myself, for example, when I am very angry with someone, no, and I feel in myself and this person, I feel hurt, and blah, 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 blah. I have a very strong connection. I can only think in my perspective. I can only think in myself. When I meditate, I have this selfless perception. They separate a bit, not completely, of course. Equilibrium, they reach this equilibrium. No? So I always say, imagine our body as a very, very complex orchestra, no? Different organs. And the important thing between us is the equilibrium, this harmonia between them. No? And just to finish, because I defend a lot the studies of compassion, because I think it's something that we really, 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 really need in this moment. I think that compassion modulates the whole body, not only the brain. No? When we feel compassion for a person, when we feel love, when we are altruist, so we are also modulating our body. And I always use this opera by Rembrandt, no? Because for me the most beautiful definition of compassion are the hands of this father. No, and for me, I think that you see the postures of both, no, and I could imagine as in my neuroscientific point of view of everything, no, that in this moment the body of both are changing, are improving this complex interaction between organs. And again, thank you very much.
Increíble, maravilloso, Nazareth. It's just so wonderful. To me, you are like the Richie Davidson of Spain. I mean, the way you kind of go and measure. I know you don't have exactly the same kind of machines, but and also from my point of view, you are taking it even further because you are always connecting the different parts of the body. And that's one of the beauties of your book, El Espejo del Cerebro, that it tells us, the brain, it's not the master organ, it's like a mirror that's reflecting everything that's coming up from the rest of the body. That's the same that Stephen Porges is saying in his studies of the vagus nerve, where it says 80% of the feedback comes from the rest of the body to the brain, and the brain only interprets and confirms whatever is coming up and gives more of the same. So it's not going to start discussing with you, wait, you're not really in danger. No, it's just, oh, we are in danger. Okay, more adrenaline, more whatever. So I think it's just so beautiful, all this research that you're doing, Nazareth, and it's just so mind-blowing and hopeful also for all of us, how we can get to know our body more and how to help with the diet, with the exercise, with intention and attention, with the volunteering, with
as well, for example, Harvard University, or I think in Berkeley there are some studies, no? But I think that something that is very, very important is that we have to speak about this at general public, no? But most of the papers I show you, I always say, if my mother or my sister read these papers, they don't understand even a single word. No, so I think this is why we need, once we are working in research, we need to speak to everyone. We speak with other language, not only with this technical language, no? Because we are speaking about very, very, very important topics, no? The
for
diet,
every person to cultivate.
breathing, heart health, no? Is very important, not only for the body itself, also for mental health, no? So the diet is influencing mental health. My cardiovascular health is also influencing my mental health, no?
Aquí hay una pregunta. Here is a question. Is your book translated in English? When?
No, we're having so many problems.
But you have a second book.
I have another book that is just published, and I think they will translate to English.
We'll be waiting for it. Otra pregunta. In the video of Daniel Coleman and Richard Davison, they describe experiments showing gamma oscillations being stronger in monks. Is that related to your discoveries? Can you explain gamma? I mean, the brain speaks several languages, right? Alpha, gamma, whatever. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So
and how
the brain, as you say, the neurons, no? We have millions and millions and millions of neurons, and we say the insula is involved in the idea of myself, or hippocampus is involved in memory. So we are speaking about millions of neurons. No?
Areas of neurons.
Areas, exactly. Some different areas, and this area is composed of millions and millions of neurons. I have one, but these millions and millions of neurons. No? So every neuron can produce a fire. And it's electric pulse, electricity.
Firing.
Okay, firing, spikes, no? Electric activity, no? Boom, like that. They can do it very slow, delta, theta, 1 spike per second, 3 spikes per second, boom, boom. Then first is delta, then theta, alpha is around 8, 10 electric pulse per second, then beta, 30 spikes per second, and then gamma, 50 spikes per second. Gamma is more involved in the idea of something very complex. For example, to pay attention is something that is very complex because we have to focus, we have to avoid interference. So alpha was this stop signal that is trying to control all the interference that coming from here. I remember this, I have to do this, and they stop. Okay, they are stop signals. But the oscillations that I need to focus my attentions are gamma. So alpha is protecting gamma. Okay, alpha is trying to avoid interference, and the other is boom, 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 boom. This is why meditation is not relaxing, because so many people is a bit confused and I say, I know I go to a center of meditation, I feel relaxed, but you are not meditating. No, because relax is slow oscillations and you feel calm, you relax. If you have to meditate and you are meditating, it's something that is very complex for your brain because you have to focus your attention. For example, the people who meditate moderately, that they are not very, very experts. For example, if I do some meditation now, for example, I finish now this space with you and I meditate. And okay, my brain is producing alpha and gamma, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I finish, for example, half an hour meditation. And then I say now, and now, right now, I go to bed. I could not sleep because the oscillations that I produce in my brain for meditations remains in my brain at least 1 hour. A meditation is not relaxed. If I go bed, my brain is like that. So it's with oscillations that are very, very high. And I need this. Boom, boom, boom. So don't meditate. If you are not very expert, don't meditate just before going to bed. No, because meditation is to be in alert, to do an effort. No, and it's gamma, boom, 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 boom.
In this,
Relax.
I would disagree a little bit, but it depends. It depends on what sorts of meditation. You know, there are many ways of meditation, but many of the meditations are through, for example, contemplative movements or through other ways that in themselves, by bringing attention to the stillness within the movement, is relaxing. So it depends. I mean, there are hundreds of ways of meditating, but
Well, of course, I say this focus attention, of course, of course.
You're talking about
Exactly.
yeah.
I was speaking only about this.
Yeah,
The others,
about
of course, for
focusing.
example, a body scan could be perfect to go there. No? You focus attention in the body and you do this trip. This is, of course, yes, because you slow down oscillation. But in focus attention, Vipassana, for example, it produces an increase of gamma that is...
what thing?
Vipassana.
Oh, Vipassana.
Vipassana meditation.
Yeah.
For example, metta meditation, compassion meditation, not that much.
Not that much.
It depends, but I say this focus meditation, yes.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, all these discoveries are absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm just so happy that you came and talked to us and gave us this inspiration to it's in your hands. You can do it, you know. Let's find the ways how to do it. We would like to have you again for another time, but we need to find a better time, because for you must be like 2:00 in the morning or something. Gracias.
Yeah, it's a bit late, so now I say goodbye. That I have to go bed because my oscillations are going down in this moment. more theta than gamma, so...
Muchísimas gracias. And you need to come back, and I hope that we'll keep doing some more things, maybe not at this time, but definitely in English, so that more people can also really enjoy your insights, which are absolutely amazing.
No, I apologize for my English, because I was working in London, but 12 years back, and I completely forgot my English. So
no, your English is amazing. You know,
amazing, yes.
Amazingly good. Here, I love your passion. Thank you. Love your energy. I love the neuron. Enjoy your baby. Breastfeeding examples were wonderful. Fantastic presentation. Thank you. Gracias.
Well, thank you again.
Muchísimas gracias. Y seguimos. Gracias.
Hasta luego.
Bye,
thank
bye.
you. Gracias.
Gracias. Okay, so now, I mean, it's just so amazing. To me, she's one of the most brilliant scientists I have met, and I have made my fair share, but yeah, it's fantastic. So for the next class, we are going to hopefully have with us Stephen Porges, talking about neuroplasticity and his studies on the vagus nerve. And I'm saying hopefully because he lives in Florida and his house is right at the path of Hurricane Ian. So we have no idea what's going to happen with him. He's just probably now, he and his wife, experiencing these incredible climate changes that we are experimenting. But if they have electricity and if they are okay, then next week we will have him. Any other thoughts? How it connects with you, how it connects with your meditation, how anything that you would like to share. We have still 2 more minutes and we love to enjoy our community. I'm going to put us in gallery. Hello, everyone. Wow, how are you? Do you ever imagine that you meditate with your gut? Would you like to share some of your initial reactions to this while they are still fresh with you? Are you filled with hope or overwhelmed or thinking, wow, I didn't know I meditated with my gut? Any brief comments?
This seems like an incredible validation of yoga, things that they've been claiming for thousands of years. And it took science until, the 21st century to finally catch up to the fact that these things actually, the vagal nerve and the stomach and the heart and all these organs, moving them and have a profound effect on our health and well-being. So it's again,
It's
I
beautiful.
I'm astonished. I love it, but it's being a proponent of both. It's nice to see them not be at odds with each other.
Right. Science and East and West together. In fact, her second book is a book on the development of medicine from the very beginning. And Galen, who, it's in Spanish, we say un galeno is un doctor. Galen already was a proposal of mind-body medicine, and there have been other ones. But then some other part went more to specialization and separation of spirit and body. And now, well, since the 70s, this mind-body medicine has been, more or less coming in slowly, and now with more research and more studies and everything. So yeah, yoga, qigong, meditation, being out in nature, relating to each other, we are reconnecting with our roots.
Reinforced my impression. When you meditate, your out breath is longer. Did I get that correctly?
Yeah, in general, when you have a longer out breath, that immediately triggers your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the one that has the relaxed response, repair, answer, stimulus. We have been doing some of these on the Saturday thing, and I imagine you might have encountered before. Just let's do 3 of those together right now. Inhale slowly, gently, and deeply through your nose. And exhale, blowing the air through the mouth. Slowly, gently, and completely. When the time comes to inhale, again, inhale slowly, gently through the nose. And then exhale even slower through the mouth. One last time. And you will see that as you exhale like that, your whole body and your shoulders seem to come down, your body seems to come down. It's inevitable. So yeah, longer exhalations always. And she was saying also, like if you're going to a doctor's appointment or you're about to give a speech or anything, just you can at least tap into that and it will give you a greater relaxation. So yeah, well, lots to process and sit with. I mean, let's see, this gut-brain connection and the upcoming vagus nerve studies we are going to have is exciting, as connected to meditation even better. Yes, because it's, it's on the one hand, having this direct experience of feeling the calmness of the meditation, in a relaxed way, and then also to learn, like Alan was also saying, to bring in the science and the direct experience, which is also the direct experience that's recommended to us from the wisdom traditions of India, China, but also, other Central America, everywhere. They were saying, just come back to the body. And they were, in fact, yoga and qigong are empirical science of the mind-body connection. And then in all ancient traditions, there is also this concept of we together, like in our community, and we together with the rest of what is around us. I wish you a very happy, calm week. Go, enjoy, move in nature, breathe, stretch. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be well.